Becoming a successful professional speaker is a journey. How do you find that first stage, the next stage, and then the bigger and better stages? I'm Lee Hayes, your host. My co-hosts and I are here to guide you to a more successful speaking career. You're listening to Path to the Main Stage podcast. I have a special treat for you all today. We're going to be talking to the owner, the founder, who's co-hosting the Small Business Owners Community. So what Pat Miller's going to be talking about, we'll get there in a second and introduce him, is these specific events that are smaller events that are trying to bring high value, and is definitely a target for emerging speakers because they look for many different levels of things. And what Pat's going to share today is what they're looking for, how they hire, why they hire, and what matters when you're a speaker. Like, what's he looking for? What's going to make you stand out? So, and I got to share, Pat's got a great voice. Like when you hear him talking, he's a former radio guy. That's the other reason I brought him on, because he sounds charming. So, hi, Pat Miller. Welcome to the show. Thanks for co-hosting.
Oh my gosh, it's my pleasure. Hi, Lee. How are you?
I'm doing terrific. You know, we're in season 2 already of Path to the Main Stage, bringing emerging speakers and speakers even at the next level who want more gigs, great information. So I really appreciate that you're here today. Would you just start by telling me a little bit about the gaps in my bio that I should have said about you that I haven't, and then also about a little bit about your events in your community?
Sure. The SBOC is the Small Business Owners Community, which is an online group that I formed in the heart of the pandemic. So it's the day that the pandemic kicked off. I hopped on LinkedIn and started a live show that we called Small Business Rally Point. The point of the view of the show was we're going to get together so our small businesses don't close. And we did that show every day for 90 days. And at the end of 90 days, someone said, you started a community here. So we formalized it into an online community on June 1st of 2020. And since then, we've been bringing small business owners together, owners only, and we've been putting collaboration over competition so we can all be as successful as possible. And since the founding of the community, we've started digital summits and we've started live events. And our 5th annual event is coming up this year. And that's how you and I got to know one another. And that's how I got into the business of booking speakers and selling tickets and building sponsorships and trying to make this crazy conference game work.
So just to get an idea of the scope of speakers you've worked with, can you just toss out for me a couple names? And I can tell everybody right now, we're not going to talk about exact pricing, but these are speakers that on the open market run from very little up to over six figures. If you look at these speakers online, that's what you're going to see. So who are a few of the people that you've brought in?
Some of our greatest hits looking back: Mel Robbins, she was amazing. Jesse Cole, founder of the Savannah Bananas. Marcus Lemonis. Mike Michalowicz is probably my favorite from Profit First fame. Megan Riley was amazing. Precious L. Williams was amazing. We've just had so many. Seth Godin, we just interviewed him a couple of weeks ago. So we've punched way above our weight class to get some amazing speakers and thought leaders in front of our community members. It's been a great experience so far. And sometimes we've gotten lucky, and sometimes we've just crafted smart deals with the right people at the right time. So it's been a little bit of both, and it's been a great experience. A lot of fun.
So you just mentioned crafting deals. Mm-hmm. So I know a lot of times you will bring a speaker in virtually because that becomes more affordable. How can an emerging speaker, how can they offer value in a virtual realm? Like where do you find value there? What do they do for you?
When I bring someone in virtually, I like to do Q&A. I don't like people to show up on Zoom and give me their canned keynote, because then it feels like a YouTube video. They're running their slides and they're talking about all the same things, every laugh line, everything. I mean, you can do that, but that's not what I want. So the perfect Zoom event for me, and we even do this in our room. So at the main conference, we will put someone up on a movie screen. They're on Zoom, we're in person, and I'll do an interview with them. And then we will line up members of the community with a microphone who get to ask them questions too. The reason why that works is I'll hire someone that is a subject matter expert. and a subject matter expert about a particular issue that the members of the SBOC need to learn about. So take Mike Michalowicz, for example. He was one of my favorites. He came in Zoom to our second annual conference. I talked to him about 20 minutes or so, and then he just laser coached member after member after member, and it turned into this really dynamic session. And here's a secret, conference planners that might be watching this. If you've never done this before, if Mike Michalowicz is on a movie screen on either side of the stage, people forget very quickly that he's on Zoom and you're not. It is immersive and it's fun and it works every single time. We did it with Dan Martell. We did it with Seth Godin. We did it with Mike Michalowicz. We did it with Marcus Lemonis. We did it with Mel Robbins. It works every single time and people love it because speakers, you have the confidence to go live without a net. You know your stuff enough that you're willing to take someone's question cold and answer it. If you've got that kind of game, that's a really cool opportunity, and I would love to know you.
And, you know, this is really interesting. You talked about the people on both sides of the screen. I never thought about that whether they're a dot on the stage, they still look the same on that big screen. Yeah. So I've got to ask, the speakers that have done this, now obviously you've hired a couple people through me, some of those people you have not. Are they always ahead on the screen like we are doing this podcast? Or do they also do TV style, right? Where they're standing up and there's a camera on them and they're moving around. Have you done both?
I think everyone that we've done has been on their podcast set equivalent. So they've been like we are here today. Dan Martell last year, he had a PowerPoint that he played as well. So he did a little bit more of a talk, but he still did questions with our people. But almost everybody else was sitting on their home or business podcast studio and just taking rapid fire questions.
Okay, so a podcast setup is generally acceptable or whatever. I am going to throw out there, since we're co-hosting, that I had a speaker once who he never does it sitting down like this. He gets back 3 or 4 feet, so you actually get the full height. He's got a flip chart right there. He's writing things down. He's talking to the screen. So if you didn't, other than he's not on that stage, it looks like he's on a stage. That's the way he's got his podcast set up. So just a tip, right, to speakers that you can do things many different ways as long as the sound is good, the visual's good. You can be creative.
Oh, we have to talk about that. Okay, if you're going to do stuff on Zoom, the first thing that matters is your sound. What it looks like is also great, but it is an absolute disqualifier if your sound isn't as good as humanly possible. Please, I'm begging you, do not go get a snowball microphone. Do not cheap out on your home audio. Make sure it's good because it's instant credibility if your sound is good.
Yeah, and it's instant, I was going to say non-credibility, I don't know, but it immediately diminishes you if you have terrible sound. Because I've had that. I've talked to some speakers and I'm going, oh my gosh, like the sound is terrible. I won't place them in virtual because it's awful. Yeah. So that's definitely key. Okay, now I want to talk about rates a little bit, not actual dollars. We're not showing real dollars here, but some speakers have the expectation that their virtual rate is the same as their in-person rate. And I've been told that this is because they're giving, like they're sharing, the audience is getting just as much content. My personal belief is, oh my gosh, you are saving so much time by doing a Zoom. You don't have to travel there, meals, losing a night, hotels. If you can wear your fuzzy slippers, and if I could show my feet now, right, my little feet are warm in slippers, what a win it is for you to do a Zoom. It's so easy. I think you should have a Zoom rate, which is different than your live rate. What have you found with rates as far as their live, and how does that compare with their virtual?
When I chase somebody, of course, when I chase someone and say, yeah, I can't bring you in person, how much would a Zoom be? And they give me an 80% number of what they just quoted me. Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah. Click. If your content is so magical that it can't be shared unless you're in the room, I'm not interested. I'm not trying to buy one talk. You have one talk and that's it. If that's all you've got, I don't want you. And that's just my opinion. And there are really successful speakers that craft that one talk and make $1 zillion on it, and God bless. But for my stage, for my people, because we're trying to learn something, we're trying to find a better way forward, I want people that can show up and perform. So when I hire someone on Zoom, that's how I'm looking at it, Lee, is we're not going to burn your keynote. I don't want you to do your normal talk. We're going to talk about your subject matter expertise. We're going to do a Q&A with your people. And I see it as a supersized podcast episode. It's really all it is. Show up, let us talk about the wonder of you, explore what you know, coach our folks, and everybody wins. So rates-wise, yeah, I can't play with a digital rate that is 75 or 80% of your normal rate because you're giving me a bargain. That doesn't work for the budget. Because if you think about it on the flip side, bringing someone in person is really, really special. Yes, Zoom is great and people learn stuff. But when the keynote speaker hops off the stage and has lunch with you, people's heads explode. That type of stuff, that's what I pay the premium for when I pay to bring someone in person. The person that's going to sit in and listen to the other speakers and talk with people as they're standing there having a cup of coffee, or be there the next morning over breakfast when everyone's, getting their day. Oh my God, there's Sally, you're here. Like, that really matters. So that's what the premium is when I'm paying for you to come in person. But Zoom, yeah, I totally expect a discount.
And I like what you said about we're not burning your keynote. So speakers, there's a tip that if people ask you for virtual, you don't have to go, yeah, I'll do my same keynote in virtual. Because you know what? It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be as good. Jesse Cole, right? He's a great example. He crushes it on stage because he's all over and there's music and videos and it's fantastic. On Zoom, you just don't get that feel. I never recommend he does his keynote on Zoom because you don't get the interaction. It's not. So he does something different. So if you're a speaker who's got a keynote for the stage, you should be prepared to talk about what you can offer that's special and different on Zoom.
Can we talk about Jesse just for a second?
Sure, we can always talk about Jesse.
We had Jesse in November of 2021. He was at the first conference with Mel Robbins. Jesse was in person and he melted faces. At that moment, we all knew Jesse is a total rock star. We're going to look back at this and remember when we had him in 2021. And that's what happened. Just a few weeks ago, we had him on Zoom with the same group of people. He was better on Zoom than he was in person. And I'll tell you why. My group of small business owners, they're solopreneurs, they're B2B entrepreneurs, they were in the room and we all got to ask the guy that is breaking the internet, how did he do it? And you know what he did? He told us. He told us. And he was real and he was funny and he was like battle tested. He was more effective for the audience on Zoom than he was in person. And in person, he was great. He totally nailed the assignment. But he's the perfect example of how your Zoom doesn't have to be your keynote. Just be yourself and serve the audience that's in front of you. And it's a great way to go. And I love doing those things.
And be yourself, but you need to bring it. And you need to be someone who's deep and real and solid. I have had some speakers say to me, Lee, what's popular right now? I can talk about anything. Just like, give me a topic, I'll talk. And what I always say is, no. What is your area of expertise? Yeah. What do you know so well? What one little thing do you know so well that you can share it and have people go, wow, I really learned from you. So I don't think it has to be super broad, but it does have to be really deep and authentic and useful. And then you can bring that in Zoom just as well as you can to the stage.
And that's also valuable because as a event host, that gives me something to pre-promote. Join me on the 12th because Lee Hayes is going to be our guest, and we're going to talk specifically about how you get more stages as a speaker. Like, we will know what your topic is. We're going to talk about the wonder of speaking. There's nothing to hang your hat on. There's nothing that someone would buy a ticket to come consume. We need to know what we're going to cover. So for Jesse, it was differentiation. It was all about standing out and fans first. And we knew what his thing was going to be. So our people were fired up to talk about that. And again, he was amazing. Jesse, golf clap. He was incredible.
He's a face melter. He is. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the in-person experience. You talked about, when a speaker stays for lunch or when they're there the next day for breakfast. I know people like Precious L. Williams and Carl Gould. What are some things that they offer that pleased your audience, that made it worthwhile for people to show up, that other speakers can say, wow, like I should think about what else I can offer? What things did they do that were extra and special and matter to you?
In the Hall of Fame of in-person speakers, there's a gold statue of Carl Gould. Carl
yes,
killed it. So Carl came in last year, and something happened that has not happened to me yet. So he came in last year. He did 2 talks on the same day. Not 1, 2. And the 2 talks were very workshop-y. They were, here's the topic, and I'm going to walk you through how the topic works. Flip charts, questions from the audience, tons of energy, and people left with a notebook full of information because they actually learned something. So his 2 talks fit together. But wait, there's more. He hung out at the happy hour. He came to the steak and champagne celebration dinner. He was there that night in the lobby of the hotel. People felt like they got to know him. And what happened, every single person found a way to come up and ask him an extra question. And he was gracious and he answered them and helped everybody. But here's the thing that had never happened before. After the conference, people came to me and said, well, you're bringing Carl back, right? That has never happened before. I've had tons of speakers, 4 years of experience. Carl was the one that they begged to have back because his value was so rich, because it wasn't just a keynote. It was a workshop intended to teach. And then he hung out, and I swear he talked to every single person that was there at the event. So when we talk about, I hire you to come in, having you understand the room that you're walking into really means a lot, because my room is a community. They all know one another. We're not disassociated realtors that all joined in Omaha for one weekend and will never see each other again. He knew that he was walking into a tight-knit room, and he knew that to make a great impact, he would have to act like a community member and talk and engage with people. So Carl gave us his book in advance for everybody to read. Carl did 2 keynotes. Carl showed up, stayed late, got up early, and agreed to come back this year. And the other thing that Carl is doing, he's doing a VIP session for us. Like, if you really want to make an event planner or conference planner love you, tell them I'm this much money and I will do a VIP event. So then I, as an event planner, can say, hey, our ticket price is $100, for example, but right, it could be $250 if you want to have an extra morning where Carl is going to do a 3-hour workshop on the thing. And that's not recorded. You're not burning a keynote. You're waiting for your plane anyway. But that's the type of thing where I do my math saying, well, Carl is this much, but if I can sell 25 VIP tickets, then Carl is only this much. And it makes it a no-brainer. So adding a VIP session, giving them your book ahead of time and calling them Amazon sales if you want, it doesn't matter. Like, those kinds of things really matter to conference planners like me.
And the one of the many keywords I picked up on there was gracious. I think it's important. Some speakers, I've worked with some speakers who are less than gracious, and they go, fine, I'll do the Q&A afterwards. You've got 38 minutes, and you can tell they just want to leave, right? They're like, fine, I'll do it. Or oh my goodness, I went to an unnamed golfer person who does a lot of keynoting, and he did a step and repeat session. And that's what he did. He stood there, stone-faced, didn't move. They could have just used a cutout of him. And we walked up, and like, he didn't even talk. He sort of stood up and kind of smiled and stood next to him, and then he walked away. And they said, well, we have 20 minutes. He gives us 20 minutes. Like, that's what he does. He just stands there and you've got to do this. It makes such a difference when you are a speaker and somebody, first of all, how cool is it somebody wants your picture taken with them, right? That you've had the status. But you've got to be gracious about everything you offer. If you offer things to a business event, but you're not charming about it, you're edgy about it, you want to get out of there, you don't smile, you don't engage, you're not getting asked back. But, you know.
There's one more thing you can do, and Jesse did it this year. You get booked, grab your phone, and shoot a little video, not to me, the event planner. Shoot a little video to potential attendees that might come. Hey, it's Pat Miller. I can't wait to go to Lee Hayes Con this year. I'm so excited to talk to you about the Fridays Off theory. It's the new way that I'm helping small business owners take back control of their time and money. Make sure you get your ticket because I promise you I'm bringing the fire. You'll get a free copy of the ticket. Maybe I'll see you in the VIP room. Oh my God, I can't wait. I'll see you in November. Stop, send, because that becomes an ad. We took Jesse's video and we ran it as an ad, and it was 20 times more popular than anything else we said because Jesse was the main attraction. It's so easy to do, and it took 42 seconds to do it. And the conference planners will absolutely love you for it.
They'll eat that up. Yeah, and always bring that up that, you know, when I speak, I offer a promo video. Huge plus. Okay, next step. So we know what online looks like. We know what in-person looks like. Now, I imagine that some speakers, you know who you want and you go after them. But, and I partially know the answer to this, right? Because I've pitched you speakers.
Yes, you have.
What are some things that you look for in a speaker other than, right, so they're going to stay, they're going to do a promo video, but what about, how do you figure out, what do you look at? Like, what collateral do you look at to say, I think this person's a fit? Or how do you go about that process of saying this person that's being pitched to me or is pitching themselves to me is a yes? And why would they be a no? Also, so as you're going, what's a red flag that you go, no, I don't feel it?
A red flag is a one-trick pony. I don't care how good your one keynote is. If there's no there, I'm not interested. Because I want someone that has a complete experience or perspective or point of view or something to share that can be expressed across multiple mediums or books, or there's more there than just the 50 minutes that you give on stage. I want to make sure that I'm bringing a thought leader, subject matter expert, personality, real complete human being to my group of real complete human beings. So that's a red flag for me. If I feel like it's a one-trick pony, that's really not for me. When I book speakers for the conference, I categorize them in two buckets. One bucket is someone they've all heard of, and the second bucket is everybody else. And I need, almost every event planner is hungry to hire at least someone they've all heard of to be either at the event on Zoom or at the event in person. Because having that tentpole anchor person gives credibility to the entire event. If I didn't have Jesse, I'm just another conference in the Midwest. But I've got Jesse, and everyone wants Jesse, or Mel, or Precious, or Carl, or whomever. So you got to have a tentpole person. I do, a tentpole person. Then the second thing I look for is as many compelling subject matter experts that can give tangible education and transformational guidance to the people that attend. Because what my people tell me is that they appreciate my conference because I find people that actually help them. I don't know where you get these people from, but everybody you put on stage, they're the people that help us actually grow. And maybe it's because I'm allergic to inspirational speakers. It's not right for my audience. I don't need to be inspired. My people need to know how to do what they're doing better or what they should be doing next that they're not. So those are the two things that I'm going for, a tentpole speaker and then the subject matter experts. And then how do I vet them? Well, I look across all the different mediums to see how are they when they're not on their speaker reel. speaker reel matters, but I've been around long enough to know that speaker reels can be faked. Like you can rent a stage and look like you're on a major stage. That's cool. Testimonials are great, but seeing testimonials that aren't a part of your packaging, those are better. Seeing how you're presenting yourself on LinkedIn, because what my attendees are going to do, who's speaking at Pat's conference this year? Lee Hayes. Who's Lee Hayes? They're going to go look. They're not just going to trust what I present to them. So that's another way that I'm vetting people is I'm looking through all of the stuff that they're doing. And it is stunning to me how speakers have so little video of them speaking on the internet. It absolutely blows my mind. Well, hey, I'd like to hire the speaker. Great. I need to see them speak. They're not out there. Oh, there they are in someone's podcast. Okay, that's not good enough. I need more than
That's
that.
not, oh my gosh, we need to pause there because I want you to emphasize that like 10 more times for me. So many speakers come to me, and here's the reasoning. They say, Lee, if I put my speaking video on the internet, they won't hire me because they've already seen me, right? They've already seen what I'm like. People can go to YouTube. Why would they come see me in person? Please give me the other side of that statement because you just laced it. I believe there should be video everywhere. Some people are nervous. Have you ever said, I've seen, like Mike Michalowicz has a zillion gajillion
Yes, he
videos
does.
out there. Have you ever said, I've seen too much of him, I don't want to hire him?
No, not at all, because Mike is the real deal. If you're the real deal, don't be afraid to put video out on the internet. If you're not the real deal, you'll be scared to put video out on the internet because you've practiced 50 minutes and that's all you've got. So it's a big warning sign for me. And as I'm starting to do more speaking, I'm writing and practicing speaking just to fill the internet with those talks. Those won't be the ones that I grow up on, but I need video out there of me doing what I'm doing because event planners are going to look and they're going to see, can this person string two words together? Can they talk off the cuff and take questions? Can they, overcome something when it goes wrong? Are they funny? Are they real? Or are they polished and fake? I don't need polished and fake. I got plenty of polished and fake with ChatGPT and YouTube. I don't need that. I need a real person to come on the stage and in less than 5 minutes build a bond with my community. That's what I'm hiring. I want a real person that knows what they're talking about and can improve the experience. It is not about the wonder of me as a keynote speaker. It's not what I'm hiring.
And I love that you have both sides of the coin, that you yourself are an emerging speaker, but you're also somebody who hires speaker. And I think that allows you to see both aspects of it. But yes, video is so important. I have found that when I pitch speakers, the first question they ask me is, do you have any video? And they don't want to see a sizzle. I take it back. Some groups want to see a sizzle reel because it's a committee or they do this all the time and they just go, whatever, just give me the sizzle reel. 99 times out of 100, either they want to see the sizzle reel or they say, don't even bother with that. I want to see you on stage. Send me pieces. Just send me people on stage. I want to see what they look like.
And just to put some context to the speakers that are watching, the reason why seeing you on stage is so important is that hiring you for a dollar amount that would get you excited to come to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, great town, don't underrate it, great town, but would get you excited to come to Milwaukee, let's say is 10 grand. Let's just pretend 10 grand would get you excited to come see me. Okay. For me to hire you, I'm making a bet. And that bet is if I put you on the card, I need to sell 25, 35 tickets to make it worth it to hire you. It's nothing against you. I'm not being critical, but I need to make a wager that adding you to the docket is a 30 ticket swing. That's the difference because I don't have an endowment. I don't have a board of directors. I don't have a 7-figure sponsor. I am one guy that puts on a conference, and there's a lot of us out here. So when we take a chance on hiring you, for people in my size at least, the speakers that make it feel, even if they're pretending, but the speakers that make it feel like they want me to be successful, those are the speakers I'll hire again. And those, Lee, are the agents that I would work with again because they understand that I have to stay afloat in order to do the next year's conference. And that kind of stuff is how we go through making the decision. And when you show up and you're ready to hit the door 61 minutes after you walk in, or you don't do any pre-promotion, like we didn't send you a video and we didn't respond to any of your emails and we didn't get the speaker's package on time and you didn't sign the paper and you did all the stuff that you can do if you're holier than thou. People on my end, that travels. Don't be that guy.
Yeah, no, oh my goodness, you don't know, you do know how many speakers don't respond quickly, who don't do the little things you need them to do. It is so important for people to go the extra mile. I was talking to Johnny Quinn, U.S. Olympian. He's one of my speakers I love all my speakers. He is beyond anybody else when it comes to customer support. Everything is on time. Everything is +1. Like everything is more than what they've asked for, not in an obnoxious way. But like you ask for a promo video, he'll get them to you next day, if not sooner. And he'll probably give you 2 or 3 versions and say, look, here are the 3 versions. This one is this one's this one's this. Please use all 3 if you want, but I want to work it 3 ways. One focusing on the date and time and location, one focusing on my content, one for, so that you have the best thing for your event to promote it. And people, it blows their minds. Like you said, it took Jesse 42 seconds to do that promo. I'm sure it took Johnny 5 minutes, right? Because he shot 3. Right. And granted, emerging speakers, they're going, what are you talking about, Lee? It takes me 3 hours to shoot a video. Yes, but your 100th one, you'll start doing in 5 minutes. But what I'm saying is, you're asked for a promo video and you bring 3 to the table. The event planner goes, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Amazing. Because you know what? This one's better for Instagram. This one's better for LinkedIn. This is perfect for our website. Thank you so much. But you didn't get charged extra for that. Like the speaker just went out of their way to support your program. I think that.
And one more thing, while we're just doing a speaker wish list, if we can.
Yeah.
This will get you gold star points. Like this will just be, you'll get a shoulder massage on the way out the door because the conference planner will love you so much. If you have the awareness to say, oh, hi, title sponsor, nice to meet you. Thank you for supporting the event. You have no idea how far that goes because the economics of a small conference like mine, they don't happen without title partners. They don't happen without sponsors. Literally, the math does not math otherwise, because if you try and buy a piece of chicken in a hotel for 150 people for lunch, you don't want to know how much it costs. You got to have sponsors. So if you show up and you love the people in the room, and when you get introduced to the title sponsor, you really are engaged with them, that stuff is gold star. Gold star. Please do it.
Well, because not only does it matter to the sponsor, it matters to you. Right? I've had events where there was one event, the speaker was awful, and the event planner told me, she said, I lost several of my sponsors because they were so bad. But you know what? Even though they were, and it was a big name speaker, even though they were poor on stage, I think if they had made that effort and did the meet and greet, I think that the pain of the stage would have melted away. The fact that they didn't bring the topic that the group was expecting, I think the sponsors would have been thrilled. That's such a great point, that the speaker makes the sponsor happy and the sponsor makes the event owner happy. For sure. Wonderful. All right. You're speaking. So now, as an emerging speaker, is there anything, like what's worked for you? Is there one tip that you can give? Because you're there now, like you said, you're getting on more stages. That's a really important one. Just getting on stages to be on stages, right? To get more video. Is there anything else you would share from your perspective that you think this is something emergent speakers should, like they should just do this? This is a given.
One thing that helped me is getting perspective on my message. I thought I had my message down. I thought I was really clear. I thought I was really differentiated. And then I started working with someone to help me develop that. And when they came back to me, and they didn't change anything that I was saying, they just put it in tune. And it made me go, oh, that's exactly what I've been saying, but this is a better way to say and present it. Because one thing that we find inside small business and in my community, but also now that I'm emerging as a speaker, it's really tough to critique yourself. It's really tough to read the label from the inside, as they say. So getting advice and guidance from people like Lee or others to say, I see what you're going for here, but say it this way, or don't, you're distracting when you do this. The perspective has helped me. And now that I'm aligned with the message, it's made getting the attention of people that are booking stages a lot easier because they get it the first time they read it. And if we listen back in this interview, the Pat that's hiring the stage now knows what I'm going to bring for the people that are in the room. So that's the one thing that's helped me the most recently, is getting some guidance and support on clarifying the message and targeting down what I'm trying to present to the rooms that I'm going to.
And is there anything that you either would have told your early speaking self or tell yourself now, or something you've learned along the way? What is maybe a mistake you made? And you went, if I had known then what I knew now, I would not have done X.
I think you said it earlier, which is don't be all things to all people. Know who you want to talk to and know what you have to say. And the phrase that sticks with me is say what must be said. If your talk is saying what must be said, then you're talking about what you believe in. You're saying it to the people that need to hear it. It is not a waste of everybody's time. But if you're filling the 45 or 50 minutes with something that anyone could be saying or something that anyone could hear, then there's really no reason for you to be doing it. So getting really intentional about why I'm talking about what I'm talking about, and almost having that mission-driven energy of, no, you don't understand, you need to do this. By reaching that level of clarity, I wish I would have done that a long time ago. Because if you're just talking about anything to anyone, it's really tough to stand out.
Thank you so much for all your insight today. I think so much to be learned. You dropped so many nuggets of really understanding here's a small events, private events that are for specific communities, and there are so many of them out there. How to better present, how to better prepare yourself to try to get into those events. So thank you so much, Pat Miller. I appreciate you more than you know, and I love the way you put on your events. I love working with you. And to everybody else, we'll see you next time on Path to the Main Stage podcast. Thanks for listening to Path to the Main Stage. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And for full video episodes, check out YouTube. If you want to be a successful speaker, you need to make it happen. My co-hosts and I are here to help guide you. But if you need more help, please check out pathtothemainstage.com, where we can connect. And until next time, keep sharing your voice, keep showing up, and keep taking your path to the main stage.